hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today I am filming a Q&A video. I asked for questions on my Instagram stories and also in a post on YouTube for those of you that do not follow me or have an Instagram. So if you ever want to be part of one of these and ask me a question, either follow me on YouTube or Instagram, and that's where you'll see those posts. If you're not following me on YouTube, they won't show up in your feed, but you can go to my page and click on post and it should show up there. I don't do these particularly often. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a text. I don't do these particularly often though, but I brought out some eye candy, got a lot of really good questions, and we're going to get into that. Before we do, if you're new to my channel, my name is Melinda. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I would absolutely love it if you could just take a minute and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you haven't done so already, why not? Just come join us and let's have some fun. So let's do the jewelry of the day. People have asked me why I wear earrings. 9 times out of 10, this is what my hair looks like, so people can't see them. But usually when I film, my hair is fresh, so it's down. So I've got in, as always, my Cartier studs, my Cartier Trinity hoops, and they're so much more comfortable since I had them elongate the post. I have on my diamond solitaire. Don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but it's the Cartier amulet, and it has a little diamond in its mother of pearl. I have on my 1111 medallion necklace that I had made. I have on my new Cartier Clash double flexible bracelet. That's a mouthful, and I did keep it. I have on the Cartier cushion Trinity ring wedding set and Cartier watch. So let's get right into this. There are a lot of questions. The first one is from Anna Ree, and it says, "Hi Melinda, would you consider vlogging any of your in-store jewelry experiences, specifically if you go into Bulgari, Hermes, Tiffany, etc. We'd love to come along with you." I don't know that I'm going to be purchasing any more luxury fine jewelry. I think these last 2 pieces are probably it for a while, so I won't be going into any stores, but I have done a ton of them in the past. If you want to see any, almost all of them are in Vegas vlogs, and I've done Tiffany many times. I have done Van Cleef, and I have done Cartier many times. But yeah, if I do go in one again, I would be happy to vlog. Janet Zach Realtor, any new summer hair products you are loving, new Dazzle Dry shades? No new Dazzle Dry, I can't speak today. No new Dazzle Dry shades. I haven't bought any polish in a very long time. Hair care, I'm going to insert a picture because I didn't want to bring them in here. I have gone even simpler. So I'm not going to insert a picture of the shampoo and conditioner. I use Redken volume injection shampoo and conditioner. And then I just use a leave-in spray that's a heat protectant and a leave-in conditioner and a heat protectant. And I use the Redken 25 or the Bumble and Bumble hair oil. But I did find a really cool new product. My dry shampoo that I'm using now is from, I think it's pronounced Borigio. I'm not sure that I'm saying it right, but it is talc free, and it is a powder, and it's wonderful. You tap it on and it just, I think it is amazing. And I'm gonna have to pause it for a second because my daughter is texting me. Okay, sorry, I needed to get back to her because she's on her break at work. So next question is from Shanna Gail Melvin. What is your daily routine, or does it change from day to day? And you made me realize Shauna, you made me realize how incredibly boring I am. I'm so boring. It does not change from day to day. And I got to thinking about like 10, 15 years ago. It's different than then because I had little kids, but no, I do the same thing every day. I'm pokey in the morning. I'm so pokey in the morning. And then I have breakfast when I get up. I'm a breakfast person. Then I work out. I do the same things all the time, and I'm boring. I just realized that. So from Cherub, which luxury purchase is your deepest regret? What luxury purchase was your all-time favorite? Which luxury purchase has been the most useful or practical? So my deepest regret, I would definitely say my Onyx, Van Cleef & Arpels vintage Alhambra necklace and the matching 5 motif bracelet. I've made several videos on this, and people really get upset about it because they love these pieces. I wanted Van Cleef before I even knew what a Chanel or a Dior bag or any of that stuff was. I have wanted Van Cleef forever. And when I got it, I was just so underwhelmed and so disappointed in it. And I'm wearing a little dainty necklace. So I would say that necklace, I don't really like this term, but it's kind of, it's kind of their entry level. They've got like spectacular pieces. It's kind of their more affordable piece. And I'm wearing one that would be considered the same from Cartier. And this one was less expensive. It's equally as lightweight. It's also a cheap stone, mother of pearl, but there's a tiny diamond in it. But the Van Cleef one would twist and twist and twist and twist till it was choking me. And I wore it to a wedding in Temecula, and it was very windy. I had to take the necklace off 6 or 7 times. And I was afraid to put it down in my purse in case I lost it or something, but sold those, moved on. But yeah, it was disappointing because I had looked I looked forward to having those for so long. My all-time favorite luxury purchase, I want to say this one, but I can't. I don't know how well this will show up, but it is the diamond necklace. If I get my face out, there we go. The diamond heart necklace that my husband had custom made for me, that he remembered from my favorite TV show when I was a little girl growing up, from Bewitched, and Samantha always had this necklace on, although hers was actually crystals and it was fake. So yeah, this would be my all-time favorite. After my wedding set. And then let's see. Hi Melinda, not too sure if I remember correctly that in your much earlier video before your long break from YouTube, I didn't say who this from, sorry. From Eunice ENG. Hi Melinda, not too sure if I remember correctly that in your much earlier video before your long break from YouTube, you ever mentioned you kept seeing 1111. As of till now, do you still believe in angel numbers, and do you still see other numbers? After watching your video, I get to see my own angel numbers, and it brings me small lottery. I honestly cannot remember. That's my daughter. I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. I always answer for my family. So I honestly can't remember if I ever spoke about that prior to taking my break. I don't think I did. I think I talked about it in my Q&A when I came back from my break, but I'm not sure. But when she went into the hospital in March of 2022, and that's when I started seeing it all the time. 1111 and 111. And yesterday I saw both of them. Today I saw 1111. Most days I see both of them, and I think that's wonderful that you have your own angel numbers. Now, I don't know, I've had so many conversations with my dad about this, and sorry, she's texting me. She's having some fun with me. I told her I was filming, but anyways, I have talked to my dad a lot about this, and I don't know how I feel about it. But I know that it gives me some peace, and I know that I talk to her, and we've talked about this, my dad and I, like, do you think she can hear me? He's like, how do we know? We don't know until we're there. But I'm glad that it gives you a small lottery. It does me too, enough that I put it on a pendant, because it's just, if something can bring you some peace after you lose somebody, then I think it's wonderful. So the next one is from Louise, and it says, "Hi Melinda, I am always bowled over at how supportive your husband is, and that time he came back with a pizza and a handbag when you were sick in Vegas is just so adorable. What's the secret of a happy marriage?" So for those of you that don't know the story, I brought it out. It is the Fendi mantra sword. This is how I keep it stored. It's much cuter. I sent it in, and it's got gorgeous gold hardware. It's since been discontinued, but we were in Las Vegas one time and I was just not feeling well at all, and I don't gamble. I don't like gambling. I don't get it. He likes it. He doesn't have a problem, you know, or anything like that, but he enjoys it. And I said, go and gamble, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna leave you in the room. I'm like, there's nothing to do. I'm in bed watching some rerun of a sitcom. And he left, and then he came back not too long after with a Fendi bag, a yellow Fendi bag, and a pizza. And I'm like, what did you do? And he knew I had wanted this bag, and he went down and bought it for me. There was no holiday, nothing attached. This does not happen. We do not just buy each other random gifts. It was so sweet. And then the pizza, because we were hungry, but that was, and then the next day I texted my Fendi sales associate, and I couldn't believe that he had done that. And she's like, did you love the card that he wrote you? I'm like, card? I know there's a card. I mean, I was really sick. I went back to the bag, and there was a card inside and it had a Fendi. They gave it to him, and it was in an envelope, and I don't remember what it said, but knowing him, it just said, I love you, and his name. But the secret to a happy marriage, I feel like this is where I won the lottery. I got married so young. We got married so young. But the one thing that I knew when we got married is he was my very best friend. He was the only person I ever dated that I didn't need to go to the parties and be with people all the time. I was happy just hanging out with him. And to this day, I am still just happy just hanging out with him. He treats me like a princess, and I try to treat him like a king. He treats me like a queen. I try to treat him like a king. I respect him so much, which is, you know, he's asked me not to share certain things about him on here, and share his cards, different things, and I haven't, and I never will, because I respect him so much, and we just enjoy being together. And I feel so blessed because we grew together. Like, we could have grown apart, but we grew together. But shortly after we got married, my dad said to us, he sat us down and he said, do you want to know the reason for divorce? There's only one reason. And we're like, yeah, we'd like to know that. He said, selfishness. That's it. And I will say I was befuddled for many years. Keep in mind, I was 20. I was not, it's like, huh? I'm like, how are you selfish if you leave someone that cheated on you? Or how are you selfish if you leave somebody that did this? And then it's like, oh, that person is selfish. And I am not anti-divorce. I do not look down upon anybody who is divorced. I paid for a divorce last year, and they're expensive. They're expensive. So if we ever decide we don't like each other, we're staying together. But yeah, that's the best money I've ever spent in my entire life. But I think the best example I could give is my parents, because I learned a lot about the law last year and a lot about divorce last year. And I was talking with a particular attorney who said, there's questions that'll be asked, like, have you ever called your partner a name? And he said everybody's answer should be yes to that. And we were all kind of laughing about that. And I got home and I'm like, called my dad. I'm like, I'll bet you and mom never once called each other a name, did you? He said, no, why would we do that? And when, I talked about her going to the hospital, when she went to the hospital in March, she passed in July. She was never able to come back home. He came to the hospital and fed her all 3 meals. He was there, and I was like, what if you don't show up? Will the nurses feed her? And of course they would have. And the sweetest nurse, they loved my mom. She was completely bedridden. She was a lot of work, but she was so kind. And one nurse came in, and my dad wasn't there, and me and my sister were there, and she's like, is your dad gonna come back? We're like, oh yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back for dinner. She goes, he's so attentive. And then she looked at my mom and she said, what is the secret to your long, happy marriage? They were married 57 and a half years when she passed away. It would be 60 years this January. And my mom got this little smile and she said, Well, I think I let him got his way a little too much. And later, when my dad was there, the same nurse came back in. And I said, Dad, she asked Mom this question. And Mom, don't tell him. I said, Dad, what is your answer? And it was the identical answer. He said, well, I think I got my way too much. And I think with my husband, I think he would say the same thing. I get my way a little bit too much. But he's a keeper. He is absolutely a keeper. Dale from Dale's Addiction, if you don't follow her, check her out. She has the most beautiful collection and she's so fun and so fun to watch. Now that you've had some ordinary experiences purchasing luxury, so you think you would be more open to pre-love shopping. I know you always have been somewhat buying pre-loved, but valued in-store experience too. Absolutely. Now, when I very first started, I would not touch a pre-loved bag with a 10-foot pole. I don't know. I had all my reasons. I was like, nope, never happening. And the first pre-loved bag I bought was the silvery gray Lady Dior, which I regret selling it so much. They're so expensive now, and it was like art, but I never carried it. But I would just put it on a shelf and stare at it now. But yeah, 1000%. I am totally open to pre-loved. Yes, and there's some amazing deals too, which is awesome. Okay, from LV Lover CC, with all the talk about safety in London, did you feel unsafe in London or Paris? And how are you feeling about your upcoming trip? I am super excited about my upcoming trip. London was definitely different 6 years later. We stayed, I'm pretty sure it was the Hyde Park Marriott, and I'm pretty sure the name of the park is Hyde Park. And we were across the street from the park. And in the park, right across from our hotel, was a huge homeless tent encampment. And I felt a little creeped out when we went to dinner one night and had to walk in front of that. And it had changed a lot, but I can't name a single city in the United States of America that is safer now versus 2018 either. Paris, I felt completely fine in. I didn't feel unsafe in London. They did tell us at the hotel, well, one employee told us, and he whispered it, because I guess they're like trying not to tell a tourist, but he's like, you know, don't have your cell phone outside. Don't be holding it up, because that's a big thing. And I'm like, people steal cell phones still, but he did tell us that. But Paris, I felt fine. I don't know if it's because we stayed in a different area or because we didn't do all the super touristy things. The only place I was a little uncomfortable was when we did the boat trip. Where you got on was a little iffy. But I go to the 10th most dangerous city in the world. Many times a year. It is Memphis, Tennessee. Number 10 in the world. I can't tell you how many times I've been there. London and Paris did not make the top 20 for the world. There were 3 cities in the United States. Memphis came in at number 10. I don't remember where Detroit came in, and then Albuquerque came in. In the United States, Memphis is the number 1 most dangerous city. So it's 10 in the world, the entire world. And I was there couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to be going back there very soon. So I think it's all relative. Just, you know, try to watch your surroundings. My family lives there. I'm not putting Memphis down. It's just, these are facts. But yeah, you just you know, do your best to know, look around, and to you know, to be safe. Sandy rocked. How do you rotate through your bags? Very badly. Now, I do change them every single time I go out, but I don't have any system. I just am more like, I am just like what I'm in the mood to carry that day. Which reminds me, speaking of bags, Cherub, I did not finish your question. You asked what were the most practical, usable luxury purchases I ever got, and I have them in front of me, and my daughter's just, I'm filming, she's like been messing with me. The Neo Noe in the MM size. I have 2 in the BB size that I love, but I carry this all the time. I carry this so much because I know Vachetta, and it's just fabulous. And set this on my way. And then it was I don't know, I'm between the two. The puzzle bag, I have 3 of these. These are just so practical. So I finished answering that question. Sorry, I got distracted there. From Sunshine Sunshine Event Rentals. What advice would you give your 30-year-old self? I would tell me, to not be so worried about, doing everything correct. Be yourself a little bit more, and life's just going to keep getting better and better and better, and chill out. I'm somewhere outside. I love that name. Hi, Melinda. I enjoy your content so much. Thank you so much. Will you and hubby ever move to a different area? Now, when I asked this question last Saturday or Sunday, I forget, my answer would be no. Right now, it's like, get me the heck out of Dodge. We have had storm after storm, tornado after tornado, hail. This week we had baseball size hail that was headed towards my house. I did not get baseball size. They were probably about like that big. It has just been wicked here this year, but my children are here, so as long as they're here, I will never leave. And I know my husband would like to move somewhere sunnier. I'd like to live somewhere maybe where there's not so many natural disasters. We had a river running through our backyard. It's not, I sent a picture to my friend. She's like, that's so beautiful. I didn't know you had a river. I'm like, I'm not supposed to have a river. That's why you didn't know. It should be dry. But yeah, as long as my girls are here, I'm here. But if I could move somewhere, maybe Aruba. They don't have tornadoes. Rebfar82. So you like the brand Pauline and Messica? I've not heard of that brand, so that answers that one. I think Pauline has some really cute bags, but I've never purchased any. I came very close to getting this little, like a tulip bucket bag that I saw on Emily in Paris. It was super cute, but I did not. And the other brand I have not heard of. Margaret Brett. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Melinda. Love your styling with your bag videos. Any more planned? Oh, thank you so much. I do have one coming up in July. I don't do them very often because I don't buy clothes that often. So I don't want to like show you something that you can't get. So I try to do it with current things. So Jojo Me 2025 wish list. I have done a video on that already, and I will link that down below. And I probably need to do an update on it because I'm sure everything on there has changed. M Chow, do you still have your Chanel medium and jumbo? I do. I don't know when the last time I wore that medium was. I did wear the jumbo a couple of times over the winter. I kind of go back and forth. Should I let them go? But I would never pay today's prices, and I think that I will keep them. Kara Kingsley, what was the process like for your custom pendant necklace? I think I have some close-ups of this I put in. If I don't, I'll film some for you. But so this is from a 3D printer, which I didn't know what that was. My son-in-law made this for me for Christmas, and that's why I found out what a 3D printer was. But he got it a long time before Christmas. But when I went in and was talking to him about this, the way he made my custom tennis bracelet was with a wax mold. This one, they make the mold from a 3D printer because he said it's much more accurate. So I just told him what I wanted, and I had some pictures of different necklaces, and I wanted this from this necklace. So like, when I'll zoom in, and around here is a little rope detail, and that is from an Hermes necklace that I thought was pretty. That's the only detail that I took from the Hermes necklace, and you'll see that little rope detail. Nothing else about this necklace has anything to do with the way theirs was designed. And then I saw some different things with the 11s, and then I don't have her ring on today, but I have her wedding ring, one of her wedding rings, her upgraded one, and it has sunburst diamonds on the side. And so I told him I wanted that. So he had it all drawn out on a computer for me, and he sent me pictures of it. and then, you know, he costed it all out, and then he built it, and it was really, really cool. Yeah, and it hasn't been that long, you know. I think it's amazing that he got into the new technology. Snow, Mari, hi Mari. What brand are you loving most right now? Louis Vuitton. Absolutely Louis Vuitton. Loving it. Living Waterway, what do you grow in your garden? And by the way, how is your sciatica? Thank you for asking. I'll do the garden first. So I have 2 tomato plants. We went overboard last year, had way too many. I have a patio tomato plant in a planter. I'll put some pictures in. And then I have a cherry tomato in a planter, and I already have tomatoes. I've had tomatoes since I think I found them on Mother's Day. I think it's from all this rain. We never get them usually till like July. And then I have red peppers, I have yellow peppers, and then I have orange peppers, but they're like an elongated, they're not like the regular pepper shape. And then I have, what else do I have? That's a good question. Oh, it's in the front. No, that's, squash, zucchini, parsley, chives, and basil, and cilantro. But cilantro I did from a seed, and it's taking its sweet time. The sciatica is a lot better. It is not gone. I had an episode last week that just shocked me. I out of nowhere, it was like boom, in pain. But I am working every day doing physical therapy, and I may end up going to see a chiropractor because I really don't want to ruin my trip. Again, that was awful. Bailey Morgan, hi Melinda, how are you feeling about Hermes now? Would you ever buy a pre-loved bag or shop in store again? I'm totally over it. I said what I had to say, and I went outside, I sat in the sunshine, I read a book, I drank my tea, and I have moved on. I'm not angry at all. But I'm glad I woke up, to be honest with you. It was, you know, the people in the comments were like, you waited 2 years for a garden party? And I'm like, I know, right? Like, what's wrong with me? So I'm not, no, I have no intentions. For pre-loved, never say never, but I don't think so. I think I have enough things from Hermes, but I'm mostly just happy that I woke up and walked away, because that's not a fun game. So from Rick Rack 1424, what would your dream job have been if you hadn't been a stay-at-home mom? Did you ever have the urge to go back to work while you were raising your girls? No, I didn't ever have the urge to go back while I was raising them, because I worked in the school. I volunteered. I worked for free, but I was in the school K through 12. When they were younger, I was room mom for both of them, planned all the parties. I would help the teachers with whatever they needed, grading papers, cutting things out, whatever they wanted. I'd go in for like 2 hours and help, you know, different teachers. I had volunteered in the art department. I volunteered in the cafeteria, and my poor daughters, one looks exactly like me and the other one looks like me but not like the one, and that they liked me because I was always in there volunteering, and they'd give her free cookies and stuff. And the other one, they never correlated that she was mine. But and then when they were in high school, I volunteered as the receptionist, so I was always doing something. I went on every single field trip. I was very, very involved. So no, honestly, I think that was my dream job. It was a totally unplanned thing, but I think it was my dream job. It's such a blessing that I got to do that. But if I had done something else, I would have loved to be an actor, but not famous. Like, you know, like be in a funny sitcom and be like one of the friends that shows up like every 2 or 3 episodes. That's not, you know, not the star. Just be like, you know, one of the characters. I think that'd be so much fun. And that was the last question, and that's good because I know this has been very, very long. I hope you have an amazing day today, and I hope to talk to you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.